As a mental health specialist, one of the most common things that I come across day to day is people experiencing stress and anxiety. And although stress and anxiety can be really complicated, there are some very small practical daily habits that you can do to reduce stress and anxiety significantly. They always say that prevention is better than cure, so try these out before your anxiety escalates into a serious problem. One of the first and probably the most important things that you can do is to reclaim at least one part of your day. So a lot of stress and anxiety comes from the uncertainty of what's happening around you or what could potentially happen. So one of the simplest things that you can do is to create that certainty by having control over a specific part of your day. For some people this might be in the morning, for others it might be having an evening routine, for some people it could be having a specific ritual that they might like to do before they leave to go to work. Having a morning, evening or nighttime routine can be fantastic to regulate certain areas of your life so that you're more relaxed and in a better state to deal with the rest of the day, particularly when things can be a bit more unpredictable. A structured day might need to be something that needs to be built up towards, but at a very basic start, try choosing one thing within your life that you can regulate. So that could be stretching as soon as you wake up, or going to bed at the same time every evening, or it could be having your bag packed the night before so that you're not scrambling around in the morning to try and get that done. Start by implementing one thing that you're going to do daily. Make it tiny if you're struggling with routines at the moment, or if you're already in a flow of having a routine, then just try to regulate it as much as you can, and then see where you can optimize it for your mental health and well-being. The next daily habit is to get enough sleep. Inconsistency in your sleep is a huge thing contributing towards your stress and anxiety. So when I say enough sleep, I'm actually talking about the quality of your sleep. So if you're at a point where you're sleeping but you're waking up not feeling rested, or if you're waking up several times throughout the night regardless of the amount that you've slept, then the quality of your sleep has been poor. This won't put you in the best state of mind to be able to manage your day as effectively as maybe you could have if you had gotten enough sleep. Not getting good quality sleep over time starts to put us in a heightened state of alertness overall, which means one of two things. Number one, either we're then responding to small emergencies as though they're big ones, or number two, we're no longer able to manage the bigger emergencies as effectively because our energy has been used up on some of the smaller, more insignificant ones. Daily habit number 3 is to keep a positive attitude. And I think I am reluctant to say this one without sounding patronizing and telling people how to view life. But I think there is some beauty in seeing the glass as half full, being able to recognize the opportunities that you have around you, being able to recognize the resources that you have to support you when things are difficult, and also accepting that life doesn't come without its challenges. Everyone, even those who seemingly have everything together, have experienced difficulty somewhere along the way. They're struggling with something or have struggled in the past, but what they have done is develop the attitude, the mindset, or put themselves in a mental space where they're able to deal with that. And a lot of that comes with positivity. This doesn't mean that to be a positive person you have to be smiling all the time, but I feel that being positive requires there to be an element of seeing things from a bigger picture perspective, or from a bird's eye view where you're able to see everything. The good, the bad, the ugly, the opportunities, the failures, the values, the lessons learned, rather than just having tunnel vision on one problem, which ends up clouding your judgment or your thinking when it comes to all other things. Daily habit number 4 is to practice relaxation techniques. So this could be in the form of meditation or prayer, but one of the simplest things that you can even do right this second is breathing exercises. There's lots of different ways to do breathing exercises, but the idea is to breathe out longer than you're breathing in, or some variation of that type. The purpose of this is for the activation of your parasympathetic nervous system, which can help to put you into a deep state of relaxation. Essentially the opposite of stress and anxiety. Some examples might be breathe in for 7 seconds and breathe out for 11 seconds, and keep repeating this until you feel calm. You could also try breathing in for 4 seconds and breathing out for 6 seconds, or there's the other technique of breathing in for 4, holding it for 4, and breathing out for 4. Play around with whichever variation works for you, but trying to adopt some sort of relaxation technique into your daily habits will start to put you into a state of calm, at least at one point throughout your day. And so then if you are struggling with things like anxiety attacks, panic attacks, you're not learning how to do these things or trying to figure out what works for you in the middle of a crisis, you're already equipped with knowing what works and also how to practice it. Daily habit number 5 is to get regular exercise. Now there's a whole host of benefits for exercising regularly for your physical and mental health, but when it comes to this, I really advise finding a type of exercise that works for you. For some people, going for a 20-minute run is the thing that really puts them into a state of relaxation and calms them and makes them feel better. For other people, it might be some light stretching. For some people, it might be a short walk. Never let anyone tell you what is good for you when it comes to this type of thing. Some people thrive off of high intensity stuff, while some people get very intimidated by that. The barrier to entry for this needs to be so low that it doesn't feel so far away that you can't do it. So the next point might seem a bit counterintuitive to the one before, but it is to rest. Too much of anything is problematic, but in general, we're constantly encouraged to keep going, to keep hustling. And also our minds are never completely switched off because of social media, because of TV, because of general life stresses. Rest is an essential daily habit that you need to incorporate. Rest is going to look like different things to different people. For some, it just might be crashing out in front of Netflix and watching a hilarious movie. But say, for example, you like to watch Netflix, but you prefer to watch a murder mystery, then the fact is that your brain will remain active long after you've finished watching the movie. This means that even if you think you're resting, you're not completely resting because your mind isn't resting. Consciously and deliberately incorporating some time where you can just rest and relax every single day is going to do wonders for your mental and physical health. Of course, the ideal time to bring this into your day would be before bed as part of your wind down ritual. So if it feels like you can't think of a suitable time to actively bring this in without feeling like there's too much to do, that might be a good place to do it, because then you're basically killing two birds with one stone. The next daily habit is about managing your time. Now, time itself cannot be managed. Time is just time, but what you do within that time is up to you. If you have responsibilities like children or work, then that can add some layers to the way that you're able to manage your time, because there's other things that your time depends on. But overall, managing your time or navigating your time in an effective and efficient way can really help to reduce anxiety. This would mean that you're not being late, you're not overestimating the amount of time you have, you're not overestimating what you're able to do within that time. You feel organized, you keep up with your commitments, you keep up with your relationships, which reduces the stress you have if you weren't able to do those things. Let me know if you want a video on little things that you can do to manage your time more effectively. Because I think in a culture where we're all just trying to do too much, as well as the fact that sometimes there is a lot that we need to do, there are things that we can do to manage ourselves a lot more effectively, to the point where we're not finding ourselves falling into burnout. Daily habit number 8 is to really take stock of what you're bringing into your body. So even though there are some health benefits of caffeine, for example, it can make you feel a bit more alert, and there are some longer term benefits that people actively purport. But as I said before, anything in excess can be problematic. If anxiety is something that you struggle with, if sleeplessness is something that you struggle with, then maybe have a cutoff point for how many or what time you have your last coffee every day. Heavily processed food, food with lots of sugar in it, even sugar-free drinks that are caffeine-based can be really detrimental to your stress and anxiety levels, as well as your sleep and overall health and well-being. So really take stock of trying to slowly start by reducing these. If a complete overhaul feels like it's too much, I would say don't try and change everything all at once. Maybe start by adding more healthy things into your diet or replacing some of your current unhealthy foods for maybe some more nutritious ones, and then focus on reducing. If you're anything like me, then doing all of those things at once just isn't going to work, and you'll just end up binging on pizza, pasta and Coke. Daily habit number 9 is to get better at saying no. Now, you might have heard this a lot, but for some of us it's not as easy as just saying those 2 little letters. It's not as easy as it seems because the word feels like it comes really loaded. For some people, the word no makes you feel like you're being difficult, like you're being selfish, like you're being dismissive, like maybe you're rejecting people. So there is a lot to say about this, and I definitely will be covering this in another video about how to say no in a friendly way, but also there is something in learning how to be comfortable with saying no. So one of the biggest things that I can say about learning to say no is that you have to accept that for every decision you make, there's a yes to something and a no to something else. So for example, if you're saying yes to this huge promotion at work, which gives you a lot more money, what you're doing is saying no to the current role. For a short amount of time, you're going to be saying no to commitments at home or work, while focusing on creating a name for yourself or a reputation in your workplace. Or let's just say you've been invited somewhere and you don't want to go and you decide to say no to attending. The yes here is that you've said yes to your peace, yes to claiming back your time, yes to being stress-free, yes to saving some of that money that may have been spent on that evening that you were invited out to. So each decision that you make comes with a yes and it comes with a no. You can start by taking some time just before you give your response to work out what these are. Don't say yes automatically. Take a step back, figure out what the yeses in this situation are and what the nos in this situation are, and then ultimately see which one works best for you at any given moment, and then respond. This will do wonders for freeing up your time, energy, and clarity in your mind, as well as reducing your stress and anxiety overall. Habit number 10 is to journal. So journaling can look like different things for different people. Some people like to follow journal prompts, other people like to have more of a free-flowing space. For some people, this might come in the form of therapy or just letting out your thoughts and feelings to someone that you really trust. Everyone needs an outlet to release their thoughts and emotions, and everyone's ideal will look like a different thing. But just finding some sort of outlet that works best for you to vent or express and understand some of your thoughts better will help on so many levels. Developing a grateful mindset can really help to reframe and retrain your mindset towards a more positive perspective. It helps with your self-esteem, it can improve your mood in the short term and the long term. It can improve your stress levels, which can help to improve your sleep, which can then improve your physical health. It can improve your relationships. I could really go on, but I'm sure you get the idea. Habit number 12 is to have a daily digital detox. So actively switching off for at least an hour every single day from your devices. This includes TV and obviously your phone. Some people might be resistant to this because I feel like a lot of people say, oh well, I could go for hours without my phone. And then when they really think about it, the only time they're off their phones or devices is when they're sleeping. But even with all the blue light filters in the world, sometimes the content of what we're observing is still artificially stimulating. The fact is that the more we are around our devices, the longer it will take for us to switch into relaxation mode. If you're able to make this a daily practice, it's going to become so much easier for you over time to put yourself into a state of relaxation, almost like a switch being turned off. But to do this, it's going to take active disengagement and a conscious decision to step away from your devices. You can do this at any point in the day. For some people, it might be first thing in the morning so that their minds are clear for the rest of the day. For other people, it might be the last thing in the evening so that they're in a state of relaxation before they go to bed. Again, whatever works for you, but incorporating this into your daily practice is a brilliant way to move forward when it comes to taking steps to reduce your stress and anxiety every day. Daily habit number 13 is to clean or tidy your environment. Now, I will say that it doesn't have to be picture perfect. You don't have to have a minimalist space, but the space in your home that you spend the most amount of time in needs to be optimized for your creativity and your lifestyle. So for you, this might be your bedroom. For other people, it might be their lounge area. For other people, it might be their kitchen. If you're able to get a handle on all of this, then great. But at the very beginning, start with a basic minimum standard that you stick to every day. Make sure that the space you'll need for your productivity or creativity in the morning is tidy the night before, so that you're not walking into a room full of no inspiration first thing in the morning. Daily habit number 14 is to spend some time outside. Right now, where so many of us are working from home, this can even be more difficult because whereas we may have naturally stepped outside to go to school or to go to work, it's now no longer an automatic part of our day. So if you can at least step outside of your house, start with 5 minutes, increase to 10 and then increase by 5-minute increments, always at a pace that works for you. But even a small amount of fresh air, a change of environment, daylight or sun exposure can do wonders for your physical and mental health. And for some people, this eventually develops into a healthy coping mechanism as well. This active disconnection from everything is a really fantastic way of taking some time back for yourself and just having some basic self-care. Daily habit number 15 is to connect with good company. Now, I say good company because not all company is good. Just because somebody is in your home or you're seeing people regularly doesn't necessarily mean that they're aligned with you or that they're good for you. So this could be your friends, this could be certain family members, this could be some work colleagues, it could be your parents, it could be other parents at your children's ballet class. If you're able to pick up the phone and just have some time of enjoyment or FaceTime, then fantastic. But realistically, especially living in big cities and if you're hustling, then taking that time out or at least coordinating it with someone else, being able to take that exact amount of time at the exact same time can be really difficult. So even if you have to schedule a date where you can meet up with people that you love and care about, or scheduling a FaceTime call, whatever you can do to connect with good company, even if it's for a short time, send somebody a loving or caring voice note telling them that you appreciate them, or just drop somebody a message that you haven't spoken to in a while and say that you're thinking of them. This can be great to help reduce some feelings of stress for you, but it can also make them feel great and also help to create and maintain some important relationships that will form part of your network in future. Daily habit number 16 is to engage in some laughter therapy. Now, laughter therapy is a thing. There are so many health benefits to laughter therapy. Laughing releases endorphins, which can improve your mood. It can help to reduce physical and emotional pain. It can help to strengthen our immune system. It helps with your heart health, relaxes you and reduces stress. and there's even some research to suggest that it can help you get pregnant. If this isn't something that you want to engage with formally because you feel it might be a bit silly, you can just watch something online or think about something that you find funny. Watch a funny movie, connect with someone, and just reminisce over a memory. Or even go back to your journals if you've incorporated some light-hearted things. Often when you go back and look at your thoughts from a year ago, you can actually find some humour because hindsight has taught you a lot in that 1 year. Daily habit number 17 is to surround yourself with aromatherapy. I've spoken about this before, about how you're actually able to manipulate some of your thoughts, your feelings, your mood through some of the scents that you expose yourself to. But more specifically, aromatherapy can reduce stress, anxiety, and some symptoms of depression. It can help to relax or energize you depending on what you're going for. It can help to improve your sleep and even help to ease some physical pain you might be suffering with. So definitely try this one out and see how it works for you. And the next tip is to take some inspiration from my 30-day mental health challenge. I'll link that video here, but there's 30 days worth of things that you can do to adopt more healthy practices, develop some healthy coping mechanisms, or just generally take care of your mental health. Now you can choose to do this one a day, or you can choose a few of the things that you think will benefit you the most and incorporate them into your current daily lifestyle. Let me know which one of these resonated with you the most, and share this with someone if you know somebody who's going through a hard time. But that's it from me for now, and I will see you in my next one.